Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Yes, sir. We are ready for the event.
Houston ACR, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Houston ACR. How do you hear me? And station, that doesn't seem like the mic is on.
Okay, we tried a reboot. How's that?
And we've got you loud and clear now. Please stand by for opening remarks.
Hi, I'm Tennessee Tech President Dr. Phil Oldham. We're happy to have time today to chat with astronaut Butch Willmore, a graduate of Tennessee Tech University and also a board member. Right now, Butch is on the International Space Station, and he's going to answer a few questions from Tennessee middle school students. So let's get right to it, and here's the first question.
I'm Daniel from Bloomington Springs, and I'd like to know what inspired you to become an astronaut?
Daniel, I tell you, there's a lot of things that inspired me. But first, before I get into the question, I just want to welcome everybody aboard the International Space Station. I'm not the boss up here, but it doesn't matter. I declared it was Tennessee Day and Tennessee Tech Day. So we're Tennessee colors of the flag, and we're Tennessee Tech colors, purple and gold. And that's why we're dressed this way. I'm going to have a couple of guests come in and help me answer some questions as well. But for your question, Daniel, what inspired me? Many things, many individuals. The good Lord gave me a inquisitive nature. Why, I think my mom said was my first word. Not mom or dad, but why. And so I've always been inquisitive and just trying to, kind of that mindset of exploration and how far can you go, how fast can you go, and that's just from day one, just a building block, and then eventually into school, inquisitive of how things work there as well. So that's the main thing. Many, many individuals and just the way the good Lord kind of wired me.
My name is Callahan Browning, and I'm from Granville. My question is, what advice would you give to students who are interested in space and want to work for NASA someday?
Well, if you're interested in space and want to work for NASA, then STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, is the route you have to take. Study hard. Math and sciences, it will get you to that place if that's what you desire to do, good Lord willing, and just study, 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 like I said.
Hey, I am Ian from Cookeville, Tennessee, and I'd like to ask a question. What does it feel like during a rocket launch?
A rocket launch is very difficult to describe. Wow. It is pushed back because you're laying on your back as you launch. You're pushed back and the spacecraft is rumbling. You can feel the engines roar, and there's different sequences and stages where parts of the propellant is spent, so parts of the rocket will leave and go away, and you feel all of that and the jarring. And finally you reach main engine cutoff. When the engine's cut off, they don't like degrade over time. They just snap. And they're done, which kind of throws you forward in your seat because you've been pushed back at like the equivalent about 3.5 Gs, and then all of a sudden you're in space and it's zero gravity. And it's quite the transition. It is a fantastic ride, I'm telling you. I recommend it to all of you.
Hi, my name is Brannigan, and I'm from Granville. And my question is, where does space begin?
Where does space begin? Well, that's a good question. If you think about it, space is everywhere. Our planet Earth is in space. But from the vantage point of Earth, where we have determined that the atmosphere, it still continues on, but where our atmosphere, where we would say where space kind of impedes on our atmosphere, is about 62 miles. It's called the Kármán line. And that's the altitude at which we actually transition, we think, or we say we transition into the realm of space. That's a good question.
Hi, I'm Amelia from Spencer, and my question is, how do astronauts adapt to zero gravity?
How do astronauts adapt to zero gravity? I'm going to get Dr. Jeanette Epps to answer that question. Also a fan of Tennessee Tech, as you can see with her baseball outfit on. So, Jeanette, how do astronauts adapt to zero gravity?
Well, that's a great question. We spend time practicing. You saw me floating here. You're still kind of floating a little. I've been here over 3 months, and we're still adapting. But what it's like to me is it's like scuba diving or swimming underwater, and you have to realize that you don't need to use a lot of force. You use very gentle forces, and your body, suddenly you know what to do, and you can easily adapt, stand still, and everything becomes easier with practice as well.
But it's very easy to get out of control, trust me.
And it's fun sometimes. It's a lot of fun, too, to be out of control.
That is true. All right, good question, Amelia. Next question.
My name is Joan from Spencer. Can you float or show us a flip?
Can we show you a flip? Well, I think we can. Sure, we can do that. How about that? And this is where the control comes in. Touch the ceiling.
Don't hold on to anything because it makes it worse.
That's fun. Thank you.
My name is Ethan. I live in Baxter, and my question is, what does space food taste like, and what is your favorite meal?
What does space food taste like, and what is my favorite meal? I'm going to let my person that came up here with me on Starliner, Suni Williams, my crewmate, I'm going to let her answer that question. Also a Tennessee Tech fan with her Tennessee Tech football jersey on. So, the question, what does space food taste like? What's your favorite meal?
Okay, space food is pretty darn good. You know, we have a whole selection of food up here. I think my favorite, though, is lasagna. And you put a little pesto sauce on that, spice it up, makes it taste really good. My second favorite food comes from our international partners. It's actually called tvorig, which is some sort of like cheesecake with some little nuts inside. And how do you like this jersey? Number 8. Yeah.
That's great. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. All right, next question.
Hello, my name is Luke Davis, and I'm from Livingston. I have a question. Have you ever seen something in space that surprised or amazed you?
I think the answer is actually a little bit different than you might expect. I think everything in space surprises and amazes me. Looking back at the Earth is amazing. The launch and the sequence, because you're launching, you lay on your back, you look out the window, and it's very bright day, the light blue sky, and as you get higher and higher in the atmosphere, the sky gets darker and darker and darker, and that is amazing to watch as it progresses on. And of course, all those other things that I mentioned earlier. That's a good question, real good question.
Hey, I'm Abner from Cookeville, and I wanted to ask, can you vote in space?
Absolutely, you can. There's a process for it, and it's very, of course, in the United States, it's very particular, like how we vote and stuff like that. So that has to be a little bit prearranged, and folks have to know how they're going to get their vote down to Earth, and it has to be on a secure network to make sure that everyone gets their vote and nobody messes with it. So yes, people have voted from space, and if people are up here this fall, they'll probably vote from space again.
Hi, my name is Bryant Jones, and I'm from Prescott South Middle School. And my question is there a different time in space?
Is there a different time in space? Well, time is, we measure it in 24 hours because it matches our calendar, which was all built a long, long time ago. So we use the same time here, except we're on London time zone. It's called Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. So we're in the same time as London, which is about 4 hours, actually 5 hours before you. So that's how we do that.
Hi, my name is Abigail. I go to Wickman Elementary School. And my question is, how do you sleep in space, and is it different from sleeping on Earth?
How do you sleep in space? Is it different than Earth? Well, think about this. And on Earth, your arms, gravity pulls your arms down, and you kind of stand like this. But to stand like this in space, I have to force my arms down because all my ligaments and tendons go to a neutral position, even my waist, if I were to go like this. And so when you sleep, you go to this neutral position, and you kind of float. Of course, we float in a bag, so I don't float. If you'll notice, I'll just float all over the place. There's wind. There's not wind. I'm sorry. There are currents that are transitioning the air through filters and pulling all the CO2 out. So the filters, the air is always circulating, so I can't stay in one spot. So we do have bags that we sleep in. But like I said, you get this kind of neutral position for your whole body, and then that's how we sleep. And it is very, very comfortable.
My name is Emma. I'm from Baxter, and my question is, what do you miss most about Earth when you're in space?
You know, I committed a long time ago not to enjoy what I have, not regret what I don't have. So I'm enjoying space. As you see, we're floating. Our crewmates, we're enjoying each other. We're having fun with each other. So let's focus on what we have. That's my mindset, instead of what we don't have. And that actually works very, very well.
Hello, my name is Taylor, and I'm from Cookeville, Tennessee. My question for you is, how long does it take you to recover after returning to Earth?
Okay, how long does it take you to recover after returning to Earth? Well, I'm going to let Suni answer that since she's back. She's in one of the other Tennessee Tech football. She loves Tennessee Tech football. Okay. What's it like returning to Earth?
So returning to Earth is actually a little bit harder than coming to space. You know, gravity is tough. Here in space, you know, our bones and our muscles don't have to work against gravity. So as soon as we get back home, all of a sudden everything feels really heavy. However, we have exercise equipment up here that helps us prepare for returning to Earth. But it is hard no matter what. You know, we don't have to balance, so all those little small balance muscles have to get reawakened and work again once we get back home. So myself, I felt pretty tired when I got there. I had a hard time running fast, like I like to run fast back on Earth before I left. So getting those fast twitch muscles to move, that was a little bit hard. But, you know, you recover. You can't escape gravity, so you will recover.
Jeanette?
Hello, my name is Roy Chen. I came from Cookeville, Tennessee. Today, my question is, how do spaceships avoid other moving things like meteorites?
Well, when we launch, we're actually close enough to the Earth's surface where we don't encounter a lot of micrometeorites. But we also have people who are looking around and making sure that all the space, we call it space junk or debris, we make sure it's not in our way, and we navigate around, or we navigate away from that.
Good question.
My name is Claire. I'm from Baxter, and my question is, what color are the stars to you from outer space?
The color is about the same, though I do think there's more color because we're not looking through the atmosphere. Well, we are void, it's a vacuum, so we're looking straight out, and the Milky Way is so brilliant, and there's many more colors than what you see on Earth. It's really, really a vibrant universe that we are a part of, and solar system.
Hi, I'm Ruby from Cookeville, and my question is, how many hours does it take to get from Earth to outer space?
So how many hours does it get to go from Earth to outer space? Well, I think you'll be surprised. It only really takes about 10 minutes for our rocket to get us to space, turn its engines off, and then we're floating. It's amazing. We go from 0 to about 17,500 miles an hour in that short amount of time. Now, it took Butch and I 25 hours or so to catch up to the International Space Station where we could rendezvous. So 25 hours until we actually came through the hatch here and arrived and said hi to our friends. But to get to space, it really doesn't take that long, depending on how far you're going and what orbit you want to be in. So our orbit's about 250 miles above the Earth. Took us just about 10 minutes to get to about 100 miles above the Earth.
I'm Isaac from Cookeville, Tennessee. This is my question. How do spaceships have power in outer space?
How do spaceships have power in outer space? So, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if I brace myself like this, and I push on Janine, she's going to go away. Jeanette, I'm sorry, she's going to go away, right? And so I got a little demonstration. Actually, that's a good time to do this. This is a little drink. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it all out. You hold the mic for me there? Thank you. So let's see if we can make this work.
Hey, it's purple.
How about that?
Good choice.
Can y'all see that? Ask me, can you see it?
Can you guys see that? Purple.
I'll blow against it. Get it going the other way. Add a little color so you can hopefully see it better. So for every action, so that's what a jet will fire, and it'll push us the opposite direction. That's pretty tasty. Hopefully that answers your question.
My name is Abigail. I'm from Baxter, and my question is, does electricity run faster or slower in space?
Yeah, that's another law of physics. Electricity runs the same speed. What is it, 186,000 miles per second or something equivalent to that. So, yep, same here as it is everywhere else. That's a good question, though.
Hello, I am Dominic from Upperman Middle School, and my question is, what is the coolest thing you've ever found in space?
You know, that is a great question. I tell you, it's not always what you do in life, it's who you do it with. So I think one of the coolest things is it's friendships that you find in space. I mean, you find a lot of neat stuff, don't get me wrong, but you build a bond with those people that you spend some time off the planet with that never go away. So that might not have been what you were expecting, but I think that's, for me, it's that bond of friendship that really is tight, of course, when you do stuff like this.
My name is James, and I'm from Rickman. My question is, how do you manage emergencies or unexpected problems on the ISS?
Yeah, that's extensive training that we all do. We do it together. We do it individually, emergency training. So what if a hole gets in the International Space Station and we start losing pressure? We have procedures that we go through. What if a fire were to break out, electrical fire, because of all these electrical wiring that we have? Again, procedures. And we also have a cooling system that has ammonia. And it's not like ammonia like your mom cleans with or your dad cleans with. This is really a different type of ammonia that's very, very dangerous, very toxic. Good term. So if ammonia is in the atmosphere, that's another set of procedures. So we train all of that. We try to think of anything that could get us, that could happen, and we train extensively for it to combat it so we can survive. Good question.
Butch, thank you so much for taking the time to answer our questions today. It's wonderful to see you back in microgravity. We're proud of you and can't wait to see you in person when you come back to Earth. Godspeed and wings up.
Wings up. Godspeed. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Oldham. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of y'all for joining us on the International Space Station today. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
Thank you to all participants. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.